Told you at the top of the show about the big political debate. It's also an economic debate about expiring unemployment benefits for more than 200,000 Americans because the Congress couldn't reach agreement on extending them before lawmakers went home for their Easter recess. We want to take a closer look tonight. First, we want to look at what's expiring beginning today. For some unemployed Americans, COBRA benefits expire. That's the health insurance program you can get when you lose your job and get laid off. You can keep a COBRA health insurance. For some today, those benefits are gone. Flood insurance for some Americans also expired today because Congress didn't continue the money. And certain extended unemployment benefits. Let's take a closer look at that because we want to look at Unemployment 101. If you lose your job, you initially get your unemployment benefits from the state, usually up to 26 weeks of compensation. Then, if you've exhausted your state-level benefits, you can get federal help getting unemployment benefits, especially if you live in a state where the overall unemployment rate is quite high. Let's go state by state through this and look. If you come in first, you're in several tiers in the unemployment system. First, you get 20 weeks. Then you get an additional 14 weeks of an extension. Then you can qualify for 13 additional weeks of unemployment if you live in a state where the rate of unemployment is 6% or higher, which is much of the United States right now. And then there's even Tier 4, 6 additional weeks on top of that if your state has an unemployment rate of 8.5% or higher. And again, many states do. Let's look at the highest states right now. Here's the top 6 states plus the District of Columbia. Michigan, for example, 14.1% unemployment. It's 12.5% out in California. You see Nevada, South Carolina, 12% in Rhode Island, 12% in the District of Columbia, and Florida as well. Those losing their benefits today include 13,000 people in Michigan, about 2,100 out in California, a smaller number in Nevada. The highest number in a state we've seen so far, nearly 24,000 in Florida. The District of Columbia, 1,000 people benefit expires today, and a little more than 100 up in Rhode Island. 212 overall, 212,459 saw their benefits expire today. Again, the Congress says it will fix this when it comes back, and leaders of both parties saying those who lost their benefits should get retroactive checks. But until that happens, a huge political debate. On the floor of the United States Senate, just before the lawmakers went home, the Democrats blamed the Republicans.
There are a whole lot of people in this country that are unemployed, and if ever there was a need to extend unemployment insurance, it is now.
But key Republicans went to the floor as well, saying we had a deal to give that extension, but the House Democratic leadership wouldn't go along.
The legitimate debate is whether we borrow and steal from our kids or we get out of town and send the bill to our kids for something that we're going to consume today.
And if you think this is only a debate here in Washington, D.C., think again. We'll show you a snippet now on the floor of the Tennessee legislature.
How do you suggest people eat?
Well, I think we all need to, best you can, find your jobs, I suggest.
Well, but I can tell you, and that's real funny. But,
I don't mean for it to be funny. I really.
Well, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the peanut gallery.
All right.
If there are no jobs available, and I can tell you from the people that are getting calls at the Department of Labor that they are looking for employment, and jobs aren't there.
So you see that fight at the state level as well, this debate rippling through our politics. Let's again, as we close, just give you a caption, Unemployment 101. There are 15 million Americans unemployed right now. About 11.5 million of those receive jobless benefits of some sort. The average unemployment period, this is stunning, 32.1 weeks. And those who are on long-term unemployment, those who, once they get on unemployment, 44% end up in the long-term unemployment category. It's a stunning number. There again, we'll track the economic debate and the political debate. When we come back, more of our coverage of the tragedy in West Virginia. 6 miners dead, 21 unaccounted for. We'll get the latest as the hour continues.